Dear students, let me glad to give you a warm welcome to everyone. Let me introduce myself first. Myself Dr. SARAVANAN, Associate Professor, Library and Information Science, Annamalai University, Tamil Nadu, India. This content will help you to observe the practical concepts related to colon classification scheme. The students of B.Lib.I.Sc and M.Lib.I.Sc both can observe this and they can use this for gaining practical skills. This lecture definitely will help you to understand the basic concepts and you can gain more skills about the techniques related to the colon classification scheme developed by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. In the end of this session, definitely you can synthesize the class numbers using colon classification 6th edition for various titles. This is the objective of this course. First, you explain the basic definition of the classification. According to Ranganathan, library classification is the translation of the name of the specific subject of a book into a preferred artificial language of ordinal numbers. As you know, Ranganathan was mathematician. He used the mathematical concepts to build the colon classification scheme, so as the mathematical related concepts he applied in depth in this scheme. Particularly the ordinal numbers and the cardinal numbers need to be grasped by the students. As a students, if you are mathematical students, you must be familiar with the term ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers. Else, you must refer the basics related to ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers. In the theoretical paper of the colon classification, you can learn more about this. See, why do we need classification? As you know, the simple concept, it helps to process everything, not only the documents in the library. In our day-to-day life, everything is classified. The simple example, see, the left side you can find the alphabets which are not processed. If it is processed, it is easy to understand. The arrangement is simple and anyone can easily understand through this alphabetical arrangement. A simple alphabetical arrangement, we can find it anywhere. See another example. A group of people, they are not processed, but in the classroom you know how the arrangements have been made. Such kind of classification helps to arrange everything, any object, not only the document. See the library, the processed and not processed. Here the classification plays the major role. In earlier days, many techniques were followed by the librarians to arrange the documents. The simple indexing system you can find in the dictionaries and other reference sources. If the subject is chemistry, it will be arranged under C. If it is geology, it will come under G. If it is maths, M, and so on. The alphabetical arrangement will not helpful in all the time. Let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of this method. See the two titles belonging to mathematics, advanced algebra and algebra. If you classify the documents according to the alphabetical sequence, they will come under the alphabet A. This is the simple arrangement. See the another one, sedimental geology and structural geology. It will be clubbed under the alphabet capital S or small. See the disadvantages of alphabetical sequence. The two documents belonging to the different subjects, crystal engineering and crystal chemistry. If the alphabetical system is followed, both documents will be grouped under one letter C. See another example, complete inorganic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. Both are belonging to the same subject, but if you follow the alphabet, the complete inorganic will be placed under C, whereas inorganic chemistry will be placed under I. Not suitable for systematic arrangement of the documents in the library. So, understand, in those period before the invention of the classification schemes, some methods were tried by the librarians, and alphabet was one of the technique. But the dissatisfaction led the classificationists to develop various schemes. The schemes are decimal classification, universal decimal classification, and colon classification schemes, etc. There are numbers of classification schemes exist. Okay, since the paper is belonging to colon classification practical concept, let me start the basics of colon classification scheme. You are watching the developer of colon classification scheme, Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, the father of library and information science in India. So, some small introduction about S.R. Ranganathan. As a students of library and information science in India, you must be familiar about S.R. Ranganathan. So, various editions and schemes were developed by S.R. Ranganathan. See, the schedule was developed. This is actually 6th edition. So, the various editions developed by Ranganathan is screened here. From 1933 onwards, he started to release the editions, and 1987 the 7th edition was released. However, the 6th edition released in 1960 is in use for practice purpose. The colon classification schedule includes 3 parts. The part 1 covers rules and index, part 2 covers schedules and index, part 3 covers schedules of classics and sacred books with the special names and index. The page numbers are available there. You should understand the notations and its related basics. Since the colon classification includes almost all kind of notations when comparing to any other classification schemes. Ranganathan has used numbers, alphabets, symbols, Indo-Arabic numerals, everything. See, the Indo-Arabic numerals covers from 0 to 9. Of course, the 0 and the 9 act as empty digits. The alphabets, excluding IO or other alphabets, have been used by Ranganathan in colon classification scheme, and the small alphabets, excluding ILO. The Greek letter delta symbol and sigma, parenthesis, the connecting digits, comma, semicolon, colon, dot, single inverted comma, hyphen, 0, left arrow, right arrow. These are all the notations available in the colon classification schemes. Ranganathan says, one cannot perform the classification process unless they have the classifying power. You must have the classifying power that can be acquired by gaining knowledge from the theoretical concepts. Before entering into the practical session, you must gain theoretical knowledge related to the colon classification. In the first semester, you have the paper classification theory, where it has been briefly discussed. Just you go through it. I suggest you to get familiar with the normative principles available in colon classification. But in specific, the post-Lib.I.Sc and principles. You must thorough it. Then come to the practical concepts. You will be easily understand. The colon classification main classes is displayed here. You are observing all the main classes developed by the Ranganathan, and they have been identified by the notations, alphabets, numbers and symbols. This is available in the schedule under chapter 1, the page number 2.4. You can find it. Just observe this screen. The chemistry is the basic facet. This basic class should be identified by the capital letter E. This is the correct method to write the notations. If you use small alphabet E, it would be wrong, because notations are shorthand signs. They convert the natural language into artificial language. The meaning will be completely changed, because Ranganathan has used the small alphabets in some other place. It has different meanings. So, throughout the practical session, if the capital letter exists, you must use the capital letter as it is. We do not have the rights to change the caps into small or small into caps. Whatever provided in the scheme, you must adhere to it. Keep it in your mind. Some basic level practice will help you to go through the practical session. This is the practice 1. The main class needs to be practiced. It will help you not only for preparing the class numbers for your examination and interviews, the competitive examinations. You can face this kind of questions. Let me show how to practice. When you see the digits, see, you must be able to recollect the basic class. The numbers to subject, this is the first practice. So, 1 refers universe of knowledge, 3 refers book science, 4 journalism, A natural science, small z generalia, 2 library science, B mathematics, C physics, D engineering, E chemistry, F technology, G biology, H geology, H is mining, I botany, J agriculture, K zoology, K is animal husbandry, L medicine, L is at pharmacognosy, M useful arts, delta spiritual experience and mysticism, N fine arts, O literature, P linguistics, Q religion, R philosophy, S psychology, T education, U geography, V history, W political science, X economics, Y sociology, CAPS is at law. This is practice 2. In the practice 1, you transferred the notation into basic level subjects. The basic facets have been recollected from the notation. In the practice 2, all the basic classes should be recaptured from the notation. The notations will be displayed on random basis. Fine arts, pharmacognosy, spiritual experience and mysticism, animal husbandry, universe of knowledge, linguistics, literature, journalism, zoology, and useful arts, book science, natural science, medicine, law, education, religion, economics, geography, political science, philosophy, history, psychology. Geology, library science, mathematics, botany, technology, mining, generally small z, chemistry, physics, agriculture, engineering, biology. This is second practice is over. Now practice 3. Here the basic facets will be loaded on random basis. You must be able to say the notations, the basic classes. Let us see. Universe of knowledge. 1. Biology, G, C, A, 4, I, B, 2, F, 3. Chemistry, E, Hz, small z, H, D, Lz, P, Kz, O, J, N, delta symbol, M, S, T, K, R, Q, L. Caps Z for law, Y sociology, U geography, X economics, V history, W political science. So the simple practice is very important for the learners. It helps you to reduce the searching time in the schedule. If you are thorough in the main classes, you need not go to the index part in colon classification to refer the main class notation. So simply A to Z and 1 to 4 main classes, the time will be saved. See the simple example, the cow book. The class number for the title is KZ311. How we can prepare this number and how we can extract this number from the schedule? Let me show. You are watching the document title in the left side, the cow book, it's a wrapper of the book. In the middle part, the extracted numbers have been sequenced. Right part is the colon classification schedule. The schedule, the chapter KZ animal husbandry, see the class number shows KZ animal husbandry basic facet and followed by the facet 3. The notation identify the term food. 3.1 secretion, 3.11 refers cow. If you access the colon classification schedule in the page 2.79, you can find the animal husbandry where the top arrow indicates the basic facet notation KZ. You must pick this notation from here. As I said, the cow title is very simple, it can be easily grasped, anyone can understand. Suppose if you have the experience and familiarity, you can easily identify this is belonging to the animal husbandry. So there is no need to refer the main class page to collect the notation KH. Since we have enough practice, you can easily put the numbers KH. Then next, under the personality category foci in P, you can find food. The notation is 3 followed by 3.1 secretion and 3.11 cow. They have been highlighted with the color, you can easily identify. This way you can pick the numbers from the schedule and finally you can join it. Of course, this is the simple title and simple number, no connecting digits available. As per the rule, if the personality facet follows the basic facet immediately, no connecting symbols required. First, keep this rule in your mind. If the personality facet follows the basic class immediately, you need not put any connecting symbol. Here KZ is the basic class. 311 falls under the personality category. 3 food falls under the personality. As per the instruction, there is no need to put the comma symbol in between the basic facet and personality category. You can join them directly. You can add the 311 directly to KZ. So, this is the final number. However, Ranganathan suggested to follow 0 to 8 steps, totally 9 steps, to prepare the class numbers for the document title, for the learners, for the students level. Once you gain enough experience, there is no need to go through the steps. If you follow the steps in the classroom, it will give more skills and more knowledge to you. Let me explain one by one. All the steps he developed to process the title. In the year 1960, Dr. S. R. Ranganathan developed the successive steps. The document Prolegomena to Library Classification and other editions have been released in various years. The 6th edition released in 1960 and along with other reprints. You can find these steps there. You must follow these steps to understand all the techniques related to colon classification. The steps name have been identified here. They are all step 0 raw title, step 1 full title, step 2 kernel title, step 3 analyzed title, step 4 transformed title, step 5 title in standard terms, step 6 title in facet numbers, step 7 class number, and step 8 verify optional, the last step. Let me enter into the practical session. Carefully observe. In this practice, you are going to learn how to identify the categories and the related notations using the 8 steps. Step 0 raw title. The sample title Saravanan Tandira has been selected for practice. You can observe it on the screen. In the raw title, you must select the document title as it is. You should not omit anything find on the wrapper sheet. Whatever the title you see in the document needs to be captured as it is. This is referred as raw title. Full title. The full title expressing each of the relevant basic and isolated ideas in the subject of the document. Here, the full title includes the basic facet. It means you need to identify the basic class related to the document. So, the schedule will help you. The index part will guide you to identify which main class is suitable for this title. Here, the basic facet literature is identified as a basic facet. Kernel title. Auxiliary or apparatus words and with each composite term denoting a composite idea replaced by the fundamental constituent terms denoting its fundamental constituent ideas. Simply, the unnecessary terms should be excluded. For example, in and of the, if you find anything in the title, they should be ignored since they have no ordinal values. The terms which have the ordinal values only should be considered for classification purpose. So, here the literature and Saradayin Tandiram. The basic facet and title, the only two facets. Analyzed title. In this step, the 5 fundamental categories developed by S.R. Ranganathan needs to be traced. As you know, in the theory, you might be aware of it, you might have learned the 5 fundamental categories are identified as personality, matter, energy, space and time. These categories need to be traced here. In this title, you need to analyze the hidden items. Since this document is related to literature, 4 personality facets needs to be traced. If you go through the postulates of rounds and levels, you might have studied about the rounds and levels of various facets. This is personality facet round 1 and levels from 1 to 4. The personality facet falls under the round 1 category, P1, P2, P3, P4. The 1, 2, 3, 4 refers 4 levels. So, almost the literature you must use the 4 levels. See, the language, form, author and work facets need to be traced. In the analyze part, step 3, you must trace the language of the document and form of the document, author of the document and work of the document. Let me show how to trace this. See, the basic facet, literature. Already I said this document is belonging to the literature. Here you are watching the schedule, page number 2.94. If you open the schedule, you can find the chapter literature under O. It is highlighted by the arrow. You must pick up the literature. Followed by literature, you can find the notation O, capital O, where the facets formula is provided. It starts from P and ends with P4. It indicates this falls under the round 1 category and 4 levels exist in this category. So, carefully observe the basic facets you have traced. Notation is capital O. You must note down this. Next facet, the P1 level category, language. The Tamil language, document is fall under the Tamil language. Ranganathan has provided separate chapter for all languages across the globe. In the page number 2.26, you can find the language isolate, where the arrow highlights the notation 3.1, which refers the language Tamil. Form of the document. The form is also exists in the literature chapter. You can collect it from there. The form 3 is identified by short stories, the form facet, and the author facet. Author facet, just you understand one thing, author of the document, when you find the author, you must identify the date of birth of the author. You can find it in the preliminary pages. The foreword or preface will give you the author date of birth and other details. You must extract these details from the document. Here the author Kalhi falls under the time category M, which covers the years up to 1899. Separate time isolates. The chronological division chapter is provided. It is available in the colon classification scheme. If you go to the page 2.7, you can find the time isolate here. All time you can collect it from here. So, for author, you must find the date of birth. In the date of birth, year needs to be collected, because this part covers years only. This shows us the century wise arrangement. Each and every alphabet covers centuries. The M covers the 100 centuries, like as N and so on. the work facet. Of course, the last level of the classification process in this title. The P1, P2, P3 we prepared. P4 is work facet. Work is the first work. The Saravanan Tandram title is the first work of the author Kalki. The work number preparing methods have been explained by Ranganathan in CC, but he has not provided the notations. You can find the work numbers if you access the website link. It is provided here, where you can find the table 3. This table covers the author works greater than 64 and does not exceed 522. 512. Suppose the author works have been categorized. Ranganathan has framed this rule. 1 to 8, the 1 to 64, 64 and 512. These are the various ranges have been identified with Ranganathan. Based on this rule, the notations for author works have been constructed and it is available in the article. The link is provided here. I can show you. See, this is the work facet. How we can pick up the work number from the document. See the yellow arrow. In the left side, yellow arrow, table 3 needs to be accessed in the document. If you open the link, you can find the document where table 3 needs to be accessed, where you can find the author work greater than 64 and does not exceed 512. See, and the next page will show you the notations for the first work. The 111, this is the notation for author work if it is first work. This number is provided here. The yellow arrow shows the exact location where you can find the work number in the left part. Right part, the notations have been prepared. So, since this document falls under the first work, and the rule says the work greater than 64 and below 512. So, the number is 111. You must verify how many works have been done by the author. It is our duty. Since we are the librarians, we must prepare this data. We must collect this data. There are more number of documents written by various authors. 1500 storybooks have been written by many authors. This document will give you to prepare the work number for author who has more than 1500 works. This way you can finalize the work number. The step 4 is the transformed title. Whatever the facets we identified need to be sequenced. They need to be rearranged as per the postulate of sequence. It should start with the basic facet. Any class number should commence with the basic facet because it has more concreteness according to S.R. Ranganathan. See here the basic facet and personality facets, the 4 levels have been sequenced. Step 5, title in standard terms. All the terms are not standard terms. Whatever you find in the document title need to be matched with the schedule. If the term exists, you can select it. If you find any equivalent term in the schedule, you must use it. Other terms need to be removed. See here, everything is in the schedule. So, we have picked it. See the note. In the date of birth, year needs to be traced. The time isolate will help you to pick up the year. In the previous slide, I have explained it. Now, the numbers need to be collected from the schedule. Carefully watch this. The basic class literature is O selected from the schedule, and the Tamil language form P1 is identified by 3-1 P1. Short stories, the notation is 3, falls under the level P2. See, the year has been collected from the time isolate. You should have learned how to transfer the year into artificial notational system, because this 3 digit helps you to identify the author date of birth. Here M99, M refers the century 18. The digit, first digit 9 refers the decade. The last digit 9 refers year. In this way, we can reduce 1 digit in the year. Usually year comes in 4 digit format, but Ranganathan techniques helps to save 1 digit, the 3 digit form. This is coming under the economy of notation. You must have learnt it in the theoretical area, where you must know how to transfer the digits into artificial system. The alphabet letters always indicate the centuries, do not forget. If it is 18th century, it will refer as M. If it starts with 19, it will be identified by N, capital N. You can verify it in the time isolate, just go through it. And author first work, as I said, we have picked it from the document available in the link, the 111. And see, the title in the facet numbers have been sequenced. The author work number for P4 can be collected from the given URL. The link is there. In this way, you can find it. Keep it in your mind, the P4 notation is not available in colon classification schedule. If you want to prepare the numbers, you must access this link. Next, the connecting symbol we need to use. The step 7 helps to prepare the final class numbers. The final class number in this title, everything falls under the personality category. So, the comma is permitted to connect the facets. O31. As I said, the 3-1 language facet, the first personality facet, follows immediately the literature. There is no connecting digit is required. But after that, the language and the form need to be separated by using the comma. See, after 3-1, comma is inserted. Then short stories 3, M99 refers author date of birth, followed by comma needs to be inserted. In between the author and work, you must insert comma. The last digit refers the author work, first work, 111. So, this is the final call number, and this is the verify part, optional. Of course, this is optional for, this helps to transfer the synthesized class number into natural language by way of verification. We transferred the natural language into artificial. Now, again it is reprocessed. Say, you can easily observe the class number 031 3M 99111. This is the class number. If you transfer it again into artificial, O refers the literature, 31 refers Tamil language, 3 short story, M99 the author's date of birth where year is transferred, and 111 refer author work number. So, this is the simple title, but includes lot of steps. So, the 8 steps you need to follow for gaining skills and knowledge in colon classification. Once you familiarized, you can directly prepare the class number. There is no need to follow the steps, but until that you must go through it. The practice 2, this is the second example. The same previous technique I have followed. The title, sample title, Classification of Books in University Libraries in India in 1970 has been selected. The full title needs to be identified like this. The B.Lib.I.Sc class is library science, and see, the auxiliary words need to be removed in the kernel title. Wherever you find the symbol, they must be removed. And the analyzed title, as I said, the personality, matter, energy needs to be traced. See, the analyzed title, the basic facet library science. In the page number 2.30, you can find the basic class. We have selected it from there. And the next facet, energy facet classification. In the same page 2.30 you can find the notation for classification. It is provided under the facet energy. See the green arrow, you can find it. And the books, this is you need to process more things. The index part will help you to identify the notation for books. For the classification, you already have been instructed to refer the index to before approaching the schedule. This is the basic thing. Index is the key to the schedule. So from the index, you identify the notation for the books where you can find lot of digits. The bibliography is also there, basic class 2 is there. So we here there is a document belonging to the basic class library science, we select the number 2, but it comes under the category M. M is provided, matter facet. Now come to the schedule. If you search the category under foci in M, the green arrow identify the matter facet, under some instructions have been provided. See it. Same as foci in personality facet for generalia bibliography. That means we must go through the main class generalia bibliography where under the personality facet the notation for book is provided. This is the guideline. Ranganathan has saved the space. Unnecessarily repeating the facets and notations in all the chapter, simply some directions have been provided by him. The instructions are available in all classification schemes. Now come to the bibliography chapter. You are watching on it. See, the green arrow indicates the personality category. Under the personality category, the notation 4.3 is provided against the facet book. You should not be confused. This is personality category. Why the book is placed under matter? Because in library science it is manifested as matter facet. In bibliography it is treated as a personality. The manifestations and its various characters you need to get familiarized. In the theoretical part, if you refer the normative principles, you can find everything. It needs of course an experience. At the beginner levels it will be difficult, but continuous practice will help you to grasp everything. In one class it acts as a personality and in another class it will act as a matter facet. So the instructions and the rules needs to be followed very carefully. Without rules you cannot prepare class numbers in colon classification scheme. See, the next facet, university library. See, in the same chapter library science you can find the number 3, 4 against the facet university. We need to pick this number from here. And the space isolate. Like a language isolate, Ranganathan has provided the geographical division in the colon classification. If you visit the page number 2.9, you can identify all geographical locations here. See, 4.4 refers India. We have identified it and picked it from the schedule. And the time isolate, already you have observed this in the previous title. Here this title belongs to 1970, so the N is identified. If you check this coverage of the century, the 1970 will fall in between these years. So this way we can collect the numbers from the document. Now the transformed title. As I said, they must be sequenced. The postulate of sequence need to be followed. Basic subject, personality, matter, energy, space, time. And they are the sequence. And standard terms need to be applied. As I said, whatever the terms available in the schedule need to be collected, other terms can be omitted. Here the personality, the university libraries, already we have basic facet library science. So the libraries have been ignored, the standard term university is available in the schedule, we have collected it. And the book. So books is available in the title, but here schedule has the book. So we have replaced it. Title in facet numbers. Here the basic facet library science is identified by the notation 2. You know very well, the schedule has it. And the university, the notation is 3, 4 identified as the personality category. The book falls under M, number is 4, 3. The classification is the energy facet, has the notation 5, 1, and space category is 4, 4, and time category is N70. You know how to transfer the year into artificial notational system. See, the space and time should come in the last round. The postulates of rounds and levels will help you to understand where the facets categories need to be arranged. And step 7, the final class numbers, and the connecting symbols need to be used. See, the personality facets should be connected using by comma. You know very well, this is common rule. And the matter facet uses semicolon, energy facet uses colon, and space uses time, and time facet use single inverted comma. So, as I said, if the personality facet follows the basic class, immediately the connecting symbol can be ignored. See, the connecting symbol is omitted. The rest of the item, the matter, is connected using semicolon. 5.1 energy facet is connected using colon. Space 4.4 is connected using dot, and N70 is used connected with the inverted comma. In the schedule, some examples may show the dot for year, the time facet, but it has been revised by Ranganathan. In the previous editions, they used dot to identify the space and time, but after that Ranganathan changed the connecting digits, because both of them, the space and time, both of them identified by the same connecting digit, so he changed, revised it. So, the dot for space and single inverted for apostrophe time facet. So, this is the verify part, the last optional. You have observed it in the previous session. This way you can confirm whether you have prepared the right number or not, because the natural language we try to transfer it in the artificial. When you commit mistakes in the artificial system, it will lead the users to the wrong session. If you change any notations here, definitely it will transfer the misinformation from the natural to artificial. The subjects may be wrongly placed. So, preparation of the notation is very important, and you must be carefully go through it. More contents are available in this lecture link, you can find it there. I wish you all the best. Go through the content again and again, and it will help you to gain skills.